want to share with you, first of all, before I get into the book, a more excellent way to live. A more excellent way to live. These are kingdom principles. You don't have to be a Christian to apply it, but it can help to your life. Apply the principles and completely change your life. I'm telling you. Number 1, it says the kingdom is to the poor. Basically, the interpretation is that greatness is to the poor, to those that permit themselves to be poor. Somebody says that if you are never poor, you can never think of being rich. The state of being poor is what opens your mind, stirs up your creativity, and makes you to ask questions. How can I become rich? How can I come out of my poverty, from the situation where I currently am? So he says if you're not poor, you wouldn't be thinking about rich, at least if you're thoughtful. For people who are thoughtful and understand the position that they are in, the natural, spontaneous response in their thoughts, in their minds, their aspirations is that how is it possible for me to come out of this situation, to become rich, wealthy? So it's why it says the kingdom, greatness, is to the poor. If you understand how to put yourself in that position, maybe mentally, then you can really do remarkable things. Infilling is to the hungry. That's the opportunity to be fed. It's only to those that are hungry. Only those who find that there's something that they lack, they are the ones that can only be fed. If you carry the attitude of always knowing, then, nobody's going to give you everything. If you come into a space and you just want to dominate the space because you think that maybe you have something to share to other people and you just want them to listen, or you think that you're bigger than them in status, in achievement, in wealth, in power, then you wouldn't grasp from the resource that those people must have drunk from. And there is always something that somebody else knows that you don't know. There is always something, because that's a different human being. They live in a different context. They have different stories. They have different backgrounds. They have learned things that you have never learned before. So there's always something that somebody else knows that you don't know. So that's perspective of being hungry. That's way where you can play a mental trick in your head that makes it possible for you to put yourself in a position that creates hunger, passion within you for something new. Then that's the kind of attitude for you to create something great. The next thing is laughter is to those who weep. Only those who weep, who understand pain, can laugh. I think it was Alain de Botton that said that the best men are the ones that have been touched by life, the ones that have felt pain, the ones that have felt some sort of chaos in their life that has made them to understand the dynamics of life, that life is not about what they might think they are, because there's always this manliness, macho-ness that men want to exude as a result of being men. Somebody said that it would be a mistake that you would make when you think that greatness, wealth, is as a result of hard work, and failure, poverty, is as a result of laziness. Most people are not poor because they are lazy. No, that's not really the story. And a lot of people who are rich is not because they were hardworking. That's not really the story. But people who pursue wealth and affluence and power and influence, thinking that the solution to it is just work. Those are the people that with time they will be humbled by life. And if you find those people, they are usually very humble because they have been affected. Reality has touched them. Reality has affected them. They have failed enough for them to understand that this thing is not by power. This thing is not really by hard work. This thing is not really by grinding, the way they put it in the parlance. I can remember when I lost my father, it was one of the most realistic things in my life. I just closed my eyes and I was like, is this really real? Can I really exist not having a father? It was the most vulnerable point in my entire life. In fact, I wrote an article about it titled, I Believe in Death. That was what I wrote. And the article, I wrote it on my website notes. And the article was, it it was one of my down moments where the reality of death dawned on me. I mean, I've had people dying, but I've never felt somebody close to me dying. And not just a friend or a cousin, but somebody directed to me like my father. And it was very revealing that this is real. So that's what Alan the baton was trying to share, that there's this sense of modesty that you find in men who have been touched by life. They have a wider gamut of empathy and understanding about some people's behavior. They can tolerate a lot of things because they've been there. They understand the context. So the story here says laughter is only to those who are weak. Only those who have mourned in their hearts. They are the ones that have that opportunity. They have created a vacuum in their hearts that permits them to have an opportunity to laugh, have an opportunity to fall in love again. It could be difficult, might not be easy, but it's possible. The next thing is, it is to rejoice if men hate for the sake of our standing with Christ. Okay, this one is more Christianly. That is, we are taught in church that if you do something evil, something wrong, if it's your fault, and then men begin to persecute you, that is your fault. But if you do something that is right, and they begin to persecute you in the name of Christ, then that's a good thing. So, I know sometimes we can be stupid, we can be ridiculous, but if that's your fault, then take responsibility and don't do that rubbish again. But if it's not your fault, then it's okay. It's fine. The next thing is, don't dwell on the consolation of riches. Yes, it's still that perspective of not dwelling on your success or not dwelling on your mental, maybe you have mental affluence. I used to have that. I kind of look at some people in a condescending way that they don't understand the things that I understand. And it created some sense of pride in my head. I was just walking around like, I understand some things that these people don't. I understand some concepts about life. I just want to turn people's bubbles. When they say some things, I just want to, that's not a good way to think, or whatever the case may be. But oftentimes you don't dwell there. And these things come with experience. They come sometimes when life must have touched you a little bit, and you understand better that it's not really by so much of what you know, so much of what you have. That's not the main thing that constitutes a good life. My friend Jim Rohn would say what he studies is lifestyle more than getting things, becoming things. He studies lifestyle, which is how to live a good life, how to live a life of dignity, how to live a life that carries respect, a life that has taste, that has flavor, a life respectable. And that kind of life is not, some people have it genetically, but most of the times you have to study it if it's not inborn. If the culture where you come from, the society, doesn't imbibe those kind of lifestyles in you, then you have to learn about it. You have to watch some movies. I can remember my elder sister then, she will tell me that she's watching British movies because she's trying to learn the culture of how to carry herself like a lady. Because British ladies, the way they carry themselves, royalty, the way they dress, the way they look, the way they speak, the way they walk, there is this excellency in mannerism that they exude, that they live by as a result of their culture, as a result of their status. And there is this acculturation as a result of where they are in Britain that creates that character in them. But if you're outside of that jurisdiction, you wouldn't have those. You'll be cultured by the society where you live in. The way they think, the way they behave, the way they talk, their mannerism. the way they salute people, the way they greet people, the kind of respect they have for other people. But if you want the more excellent lifestyle, then you have to study it by watching some movies, by studying some cultures and learning these things. So creating that excellent behavior within yourself, it's really good. The next thing is, it is to be considered a false person when all men speak well of him. Okay, this one is basically talking about if everybody is always praising you, most likely what you are doing is not so great. It doesn't really mean correlation doesn't lead to causation. It doesn't really mean if people praise you, if a lot of people praise you, or if everybody is praising you, what you are doing is in a sense wrong. No, that's not what it means. It means that I think it works if it happens all the time. If everyone is always praising you for everything that you do, there is something wrong with you. There's something wrong, not something wrong with you, there's something wrong with what you are doing. Well, if something is wrong with what you're doing, there is a sense something wrong with you because your actions are a consequence of your desires, a consequence of the way you think, of the things that you're pursuing. Might not necessarily define your identity, but it has a small relationship with the desires that you have, the hunger that you have. So if a lot of people are praising you, pursuing you, giving you the high five, everybody, all the time, for almost everything that you do, they are probably sycophants. And sycophants are people who surround you for the sake of lifting up your ego so they can get what they want. And if you have a lot of that around you, it's a very terrible place to be. You end up being performative. You want to do things to get that praise. You want to do things because that praise has become a drug. It has become something that you live by. It is beginning to define your identity, who you are. And once you fall for that trap, you begin to take yourself too seriously. That's a very dangerous place to be in. I mean, you begin to play to the tune of the people that are around you, the people that are giving you the praise and all the thing that they give you. It's human nature. They are playing tricks on the weakness of your personality. They are playing tricks on the desires that you have, knowing that you want to be praised, you want to be honored. And when people notice that's the nature of your personality, they will just be playing to your tune if they know how to do it. Most especially, a lot of humans know how to do it. We are human beings. We know how to manipulate the emotions of people, even though we do it subliminally. You don't really have to learn the skills. As a human being, you should know how to manipulate. A woman especially knows how to manipulate a man, most especially if the man is in love with the woman. It's very easy for her to manipulate him if she knows how to do it. But usually when a lot of people praise you, raise you up all the time, not once but all the time, it's possible for you to do something that is praiseworthy, something good, something proper that is praiseworthy, and a lot of people will applaud you. That's okay. But if it's all the time, there is usually something wrong. It's all the time. If it's a lot of the times, there's usually something wrong in what you're doing. So you have to check your passion, check your desire. What are you really pursuing that these people are praising you? Is it because you have money? Is it because of your position? They just elected you senator? They just elected you president? They just give you a new job and you have so many people around you? You have to be really careful. That's a very terrible place to be in. The second part of the more excellent way to live is a list of verbs. That's what I would call it. List of verbs that are just excellent lifestyles. You live by them, they will transform your life forever. Number 1, love. Love is a very underrated statement and overrated statement at the same time. It's one of those things that are just paradoxes in people's minds. Love is a powerful force of nature. Love is the thing that drives the world. Love is the thing that can heal the world. Love is the thing that can manipulate the world. Love is the thing that can injure the world. Love is a very powerful force if we know how to utilize it. And it's a tool. In the right hands, it can be used for good. In the wrong hands, it can be used for chaos, for mayhem. And love is a powerful thing. So I think you should learn the tool of love. You should learn the essence of love. And love, in the good way, in the way that you believe will drive the future forward, in the way that you believe will give you the good results that you desire. Love. That could be yourself. Love yourself. Some people don't love themselves for some reason. Love other people. Love God. And love life. You are alive. A lot of people are dead. So love life, appreciate it. Get to love everything that you find. Nature, experience life, love. It's very powerful. The second thing is bless. This is a concept of, it's just the excellency of the lifestyle that puts you on the positive spectrum of things. Bless people however you know you can bless them. With your words, bless them. With your money, bless them. With your presence, bless them. With your gifts, bless them. The next thing is give. Give what you can give. Give your time. Give your heart. Give your money. Somebody said, I think that was Bob Proctor, that said, if you have to think before you give, you're not giving, you're negotiating. And that's so profound. When you give, just give. Whether the person has the ability to pay back or not, just give the person. That's the more excellent lifestyle. The next thing is do good. You just do good. The next thing is lend. Lend to people. Give them something. The next thing is be merciful. The story that Jesus shared when he said he forgave a man for the man's debt, and the man found somebody that owed him something and almost strangled the person and threw the guy into the jail. And they reported him back to the ruler and said, look at this man that you forgave. Found somebody that he should have forgiven, but he dumped the person in the cell. Imagine. And justice was rendered. Justice will always be rendered. We live in a world that does not like imbalance. Nature does not like imbalance. There's something they call karma, I think. That's what they call it. It's a theoretical principle about cause and effect of life. What you sow, you reap. What it means is that when somebody has sown evil, in our parlance in Nigeria would say, when your cup don't full, pardon me for speaking pidgin, when your cup gets full, life has a way of instituting justice. I don't know how it works, but I just know it works. There is a God factor, a software system that has been installed in the universe that creates balance. It could take a while, but it definitely comes. So be merciful. The next thing here is judge not. Don't judge. Don't judge. It doesn't mean you should not correct people. You should not caution people. You should not say, hey, that thing is wrong. It doesn't mean you shouldn't do that. But the judgment that places people in a position of condemnation, where you condemn them, no, don't do that. You can condemn what they did, but you don't have to condemn their personality. You can say, it's like telling somebody that you are a smoker and saying, stop smoking. They're two different things. One is an attack against the personality, One is an attack against the act. It is the act that damages the personality, that damages the human being. So to attend to the situation is to focus on the act, not the personality. When you call people names, they get defensive. When you say you are a thief, the person gets defensive. But when you confront the act and say, stop stealing, then we are going somewhere. So that's what the principle is trying to say, don't judge. Don't call people you are a smoker. Just say, stop smoking. Do you get the idea? So I love the principle a lot when it says, judge not, condemn not. And then the next one, it says, forgive. Forgive people. Forgetting is difficult. You might not be able to forget because the memory is in your head, and sometimes we don't have the power to delete things from our mind. You have to pray them off sometimes. You have to say, like, God, remove this memory from my head. I can remember during my youth age, there was a lot of stupid things that I did. Before I repented, I wasn't born a child of God. So a lot of stupid things that I did. I can remember one of those days I was praying. I was like, God, please, can you remove this memory? Because the memory was hurting me. It was really hurting me. It was excruciatingly painful. And I prayed that prayer, God, remove this memory. And I don't know, magically, I can't seem to remember those things today. I don't force myself to remember them. If I force myself, I might remember. But I don't allow that memory to have an opportunity to replay itself in my mind. I let it go and it went off. So forgive people and make an effort to forget what they did. It's possible for you to not recall it. For you to forget might be impossible, but for you to not recall what happened is very possible. And it's an effort. Might not be immediate, take a while, but it's definitely possible. The next thing here is lead people. I would recommend the book, The Leader Who Had No Title. I think it's by Robin Sharma. Yes, very good book. Go get it and read. Be disciplined. Discipline is very good. If you have a goal, you have an aspiration, discipline yourself in the execution of it, the exercises you need to do. It's a very powerful thing. Seek perfection. Seek perfection. You might not get it, but the effort in trying to be perfect is worthwhile because it will make you a better person. You will never be perfect. There is nobody that will be perfect, but the effort in trying to be perfect will make you a better person. The only way we can reach perfection is by an approximation, but we can never be absolutely perfect. Never. There's no human being. But you can keep on increasing the digits of approximation of how close you are to perfection. It's like if perfection is 1 and you are currently 0.05, you can get better 0.09, 0.1, 0.5, 0.79, 0.8999. You can get better and better, but you would not get to 1, but you can get really good, really close to 1, to an approximation. So seek perfection. Seek perfection in your character. Seek perfection in the way you think. Seek perfection in what you're becoming, your skill sets. Professionally, seek perfection, get better. Academically, if you're a student, get better. Whatever thing that relates to you, seek perfection. The next thing is perceive. Perception is a very powerful tool. If you are an insensitive person, you are going to hurt a lot of people. And I've been there. Most especially young ladies. Some of them couldn't find found it difficult to work with me. Let me put it that way. I was in a relationship with someone when, I was just what do I call myself? Let me not call myself names, but I was, I don't know how to put it, but it's good to be sensitive to what people might think, sensitive to how your words might affect people, sensitive to the things you might do. I don't know, just try to be sensitive. People have a lot of things going on in their lives. And sometimes what you might do, what you might say might affect them in ways that you might not even understand. And it can really hurt them a lot if you're not sensitive to what's going on and know how to recalibrate your decisions or your actions or your words. It's very powerful to be sensitive. If you are speaking in an audience, you have to be sensitive when your audience, when they are getting tired, when they are getting bored, you have to change the tempo. You have to be really sensitive. It spans in a lot of areas of our lives, and it's very good. The next thing is behold. This is about vision. Have a vision. Have a vision for your life. Have a vision for your family. Have a vision for your profession. By next year, where would you want to be professionally? Where would you want to be financially? Where would you want to be academically? Have a vision. Behold something. Behold the future. When are you starting a new family? Have a wife or have a husband, have children. Behold something. Look into the future and see what's possible for me, what's possible for my family. Behold something. It's a very powerful force. The future is a very powerful driving force. For some people, the past is a powerful force to them. Some people are driven by the past mistakes, past failures, past disappointments, and dysfunctions in people's lives. Some people have been battered when they were young. Some people were molested. And it affects a lot of young women as a result of being molested by an uncle or a cousin when they were young. They went for holiday. And when they went for holiday, they were touched in ways that affected their psychology, even in adulthood. It even affects them in their marriage. So a lot of people are driven by the past in a very crazy way. So you have to behold something. Let it go and move forward. You can't change it. Life doesn't have Control Z. That's one thing you just have to realize. There is no Control Z in life. You are typing something on Microsoft Word. Instead of typing ABC, you typed ABD. You can delete, or you can do undo. Life doesn't have that. What happened yesterday is gone. You can't recreate it. You can't change it. The experiences of the past are gone. You just have to change your mindset and move forward. Behold the future. What's in front of me and what can I pursue regardless of what has happened. The next thing is have a good heart. Have a good heart. Have a good attitude. Have a good attitude towards people. Have a good attitude towards life. Life will mess up in really great ways. I was reading the Bible yesterday, and the scripture, Jesus that was speaking. He said, he was speaking about his words, and he said, the people who obey my words, who hear me and do what I say they should do. Let me explain what they are like. They are like people who build their house on a rock. And then he said, when the storms came, I love that part. He said, when the storms came, because the storms always come. They always come. Life is filled with different phases of storms. Different. When you are single, there are storms. When you are a student, there are storms. In your young age, there are storms. When you get married, there are storms. When you are giving birth, when you begin to have children, when you start paying school fees, when you start taking them to college, there are storms every time. When the storms come, because they always do. So life has a lot of storms, a lot of challenges. When you walk, some people will be bitter towards you, but have a good attitude. Have a good attitude. Sometimes it's not some people. It's just what they have been through. It's just what they are going through. And you just make excuses for people sometimes. Because if you don't, you will be bitter for no good reason. You just be troubling yourself for things that do not matter. Life is filled with storms. You might not have the money to do a lot of things, all the money at once, but have a good attitude. I mean, if it doesn't come now, it will come later. We keep working, we keep looking forward, we keep beholding, and opportunities will definitely open up. And it's a good way to live life. Have a good attitude. The last thing here is hear and do. Hear and do. This one is basically, I think I've talked about it. It's about the Jesus thing that I talked about. When you hear something, you hear a good idea, you do it. That's how it changes your life. The ideas you don't apply won't help. It will not help. The ideas you listen to, the things you learn but do not apply, do not execute, it won't work. It won't change your life. The only way that there's an opportunity for your life to be changed is if you apply the lessons you learn. You went to church, they taught you something, you came back home. Did you apply the things you learned? No. You went to conference, you learned some things, you came back home. Did you apply the things you learned? No. Somebody gave you an idea, gave you a suggestion. Did you apply the things they told you? No. Your life is not going to change. This is not magic. It's not rocket science. So hear and do. You've heard some things that I've shared. I hope it helps. I hope you apply them. You don't have to apply everything. Look at the ones that might apply to your life and just do what you can. That's what's required. I love the parable that says the people who sowed seed, and the seed brought forth, some brought forth 30%, some brought forth 60%, some brought forth 100%. You don't have to judge the people that brought forth 30, 60, or 100. People live life based on the results of what they want. A lot of people don't want to be billionaires. They just want to be able to do what they want to do, when they want to do it, for how long they want to do it, with whoever they want to do it. If they want to go to a supermarket, they just want to walk in there, buy whatever they want to buy how much quantity they want to buy, and not really care about how much money they have in their accounts. That's really, for some people, that's what they want. They don't really want your billions. Just, if I want bread, I have money to buy bread. If I want a car, I have money to buy a car. If I want to buy petrol, I have money to buy petrol. That's really what some people are looking for. They're not really looking for your billions. So the people who get 30%, don't judge them. That's the life they want. The people who get 60%, don't judge them. That's the life they want. And the people who get 100%, that's the life they have chosen. It's not about right and wrong. It's not white or black. It's just the life people want. Thank you so much for listening to me rant. I hope these ideas were useful, applicable, and I hope you apply them to your life and change your life. Turn your life upside down. It's good. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one.